Good evening, one and all. It is a distinct honor and great pleasure to be part of the Fulbright program's 75th anniversary celebration. What a singular contribution Fulbright and Fulbrighters have made to the world, and what a lasting legacy both continue to build today. From its inception, Fulbright has served as an effective humanizing venture in international affairs. Its design is ostensibly simple in concept, yet it greatly outperforms its simple design with outcomes that deliver a huge impact on lives. Born of the post-war idea that reaching across borders and cultures to gain a better understanding of others can stave off conflict, the program continues to demonstrate the strength and relevance of that founding ideal. It is my pleasure to join with the many program alumni here tonight and to share how Fulbright changed my life and shaped my career. To help you understand the impact of Fulbright on my life, I must tell you about my journey from a large sharecropping plantation in East Texas. Fortunately, my family managed to move to Houston when I was 7 years old, and I was able to avoid the worst of the child labor that typified the sharecropping system of the 40s and 50s. Being able to attend school every day was a blessing for me and my siblings, and we tried to take advantage of programs afforded us in our segregated, underfunded schools. Outstanding and caring teachers helped us understand that there could one day be a life beyond limited opportunities under segregation. This seemed odd to us at the time because strict segregation left no room for us to venture outside of our all-Black community. Although our teachers challenged us to work hard and to go on to college, they knew that the colleges that were just opening up to Blacks might be hostile to us. And so they sent me off to a Black college in Louisiana, Dillard University. At Dillard, 2 language instructors inspired me to look even further, not just beyond my segregated neighborhood, but beyond the borders of my country. They seemed eminently sensible to me, as I knew that my country, in a sense, regarded the notion that I was worthy of high achievement and rejected that notion. And I welcomed the possibility that somewhere in the world others might think differently. So I embraced the opportunity to study abroad and to learn how others might see me and how I might see them. So when I set sail in 1967 on the paquebot France to my Fulbright year at the University of Lyon, I was beginning my first extensive immersive experience. During my year in France, my knowledge of French language and culture grew, and my acceptance by others became an expectation that I had never before experienced. From long conversations about art, politics, and culture, to camping trips around Europe, I was no longer singled out as someone to shun. I was just another ami. I can't tell you what that did for my self-confidence and my thinking about what my country needed. This new world that I was experiencing was one in which I wanted to be a committed participant, sharing ideas, contesting misconceptions, opening doors for others to see what is possible when mutual regard replaces denigration and distrust. My Fulbright experience led me to return to the United States, complete my PhD, and begin an academic career where I could influence students to embrace learning about difference. The impact of leaving the narrow world that imprisoned my mind and my spirit was decisive in my life. Fulbright facilitated my ability to learn who I might be in a broader post-segregated world. Learning about my youth My students have often asked me why I am not angry. I'm not angry because I see the possibilities. And what that sight always does for me is to lead me to hope for a better day. I have remained hopeful ever since my Fulbright year because I've seen more of the diversity that the world offers. Because of Fulbright, I did not lapse into defensive hatred and suspicion on the basis of racial and cultural differences. My openness to others and belief in possibilities led directly to my ability to lead very different kinds of institutions: an all-women's college, an Ivy League university, and now a historically Black university. Fulbright made my roles at these schools possible because the program taught me to be comfortable with difference. And when one is comfortable with difference, one is indifferent to superficial elements, showing one how to see the value in every person. I have found value in vastly different types of individuals, and my life has been richer as a consequence. The possibilities shown me by the Fulbright experience encouraged me to fight for more equitable conditions in our country, improving the role and inclusion of women and minorities wherever possible. As an educator and administrator, I also set out to share the gift of international education and experience with my students, especially those who are first-generation students with limited interaction with different groups. I advocate for diversity in the award of international fellowships because I know what international study meant for me, both personally and professionally. International study is a much-needed element of a well-rounded education for anyone, but especially for the underserved. I've always seen international education as a close cousin of diversity and inclusion efforts. They are actually two sides of the same coin, requiring the same commitment to reach across differences and identify common purpose. I've used that perspective to instill in the culture of my campuses the idea that while it may seem more comfortable to be surrounded by clones of oneself, such a choice tends to be more reinforcing than challenging, stifling learning rather than stoking growth and creativity. In so very many ways, I'm the person that Fulbright made me: a continuous learner and striver, an avid proselytizer for international education, an advocate of the broadest possible learning experiences, and a believer in the power of human understanding. Fulbright lifted me out of a narrow world where little seemed possible, made me lift my eyes to the horizon, and enabled me to embrace what might be possible if only I reached out. I am grateful for the Fulbright experience, and I applaud all those from the past and in the present who are committed to keeping it strong. Thank you.